Hello, I'm Donald Leggett, and welcome to the latest Focus IR CU interview. I'm joined today by a gentleman called Ryan Mee. He's the CEO at Fulcrum Metals, and they have a ticker FMET, FMET, and they're an AIM-listed gold and uranium explorer focused on Canada. Welcome, Ryan.
Morning, Donald. It's a pleasure to be speaking to you this morning.
Yeah, the pleasure is all ours, Ryan. The pleasure is all ours. Now, for those who don't know so much about Fulcrum, talk us through how you've expanded your exploration footprint to 59,000 hectares, or alternatively 593 kilometers, if that's the way you're inclined, in Saskatchewan, Canada. Tell us all.
Yeah, so there's no short answer, but a lot of homework. We've staked around 30,000 hectares. We've optioned a further 11,000 hectares, and that's allowed us to expand an existing project and create two completely new projects.
Great. And talk us through the names of those different projects that you have.
Yeah, so we have the Charlotte Neely project, which is in the northern region of the Athabasca Basin. We also have the Fontaine Lake project, which is a little further to the east. So those are two projects we had originally. And then a little bit further over to the east, we have the new Snowbird project. And in the southern region of the Athabasca Basin, we have the South Pendleton project.
And the Athabasca Basin, of course, is extremely famous as being the home of many, many uranium mines. So presumably that's you're thinking, this is a great jurisdiction. Canada is a great mining jurisdiction. Saskatchewan is a great uranium jurisdiction. So this is the place to be for you.
Absolutely. Saskatchewan, grade-wise, uranium grades are, up to 100 times the grade as other uranium jurisdictions. It's a politically stable jurisdiction. Everybody knows about what's going on with Russia and supply chain issues with uranium. So this ticks all the boxes. It's got grade, it's got historical uranium production, it's got new discoveries, and really key and essential is that safe jurisdiction.
Great. And what sort of work program do you have planned, and what sort of geology do you expect to find which is going to deliver uranium?
Yeah, so what our principal immediate short-term goals with our uranium portfolio is to bring in partnerships or spin the business out in its entirety. Now, that's going to allow us to lock in some value on the Saskatchewan assets, some of which I don't think the market is seeing at the moment. And also, essentially, it's to, bring other forms of investment into the projects, which doesn't dilute the existing Fulcrum shareholders.
Okay, so you hope to bring in some partners in terms of funding and exploration and so on.
Absolutely. So the next kind of steps that we would envisage is to bring in partnerships or spin a business out. In terms of the exploration, we'd be looking at geophysics. A lot of these properties haven't been looked at, in recent times. You're looking back to the 1970s. A lot of this, especially the new stuff that we brought in, it's been sparsely mapped. But you know what? They're in some great areas with some fantastic structure, and that is where you find uranium deposits.
Okay. It hasn't cost you so much to acquire those Saskatchewan assets, but do you feel that you've already added value by turning those highly prospected acres into focused projects?
Absolutely. It's been very cost effective the way we've done that. We've done that deliberately. We've always got an eye on shareholder dilution. So what we've been able to do is bring substantial packages together under one umbrella, one project area. Now, the sum of the parts, if you have 4 or 5 different parts in different areas, you never realize true value for those things. By combining these areas together through these option agreements, through this staking, you bring a focus in one area, and just by that very token, that metric, you create value. Okay,
very good. Now, in terms of exploration, does any one particular asset stand out for you? And would that be where you're going to focus your capital allocation?
Well, firstly, I think all of these project areas are fantastic. They've got all the key ingredients that you want to see in making uranium discoveries. At this particular moment in time, my personal favourite is Charlotte Neely Lake. You've got the major faulting through the property. We've got EM conductors. This summer, as we announced not too long ago, we found extremely high levels of radioactivity. We were waiting for the analysis on the samples before we put any further news out on that, but we've got all the ingredients there. We've got key alteration, faulting, EM conductors, radioactivity. So it's a really exciting area.
Okay. And in terms of funding, what does your funding look like at the moment?
Yeah, so we review this on an annual basis. As I said, what our main goal here is in the immediate term is to bring partners to the table. So that will take the funding requirements away from Fulcrum. It will take the dilution away from Fulcrum shareholders. So that is exactly what we are looking to do right now. In terms of a minimum expenditure for the next year, it's less than 60,000 Canadian dollars. So we're under no pressure to go and raise funds to go and perform significant exploration. It's perfectly teed up to bring in partners or a spin out of the business.
Okay, uranium is the name of the game here. So talk us through the uranium cycle, the global uranium cycle, and why do you think now is a good time to be fast-tracking uranium exploration?
Yeah, so there's some very straightforward reasons here. Firstly, uranium has been widely recognized globally as a key commodity in achieving net zero goals. It's the most sustainable, affordable source of baseload power in this net zero society. And you've also got a structural deficit. By that, I mean, if you look at the supply and demand, you've got long lead times of new uranium mines, you've got depletion of existing resources. Just to put that into context, you've got around 60 nuclear builds under construction at the moment, and there's a further 110 planned. As I said, jurisdictionally, we're in a perfect location. And let's not forget, uranium is a very explosive industry because of these lead time factors and depleting resources. I mean, the last uranium cycle went from sub 20 to around $140 spot price. And during those times, exploration companies, that they achieve significant returns for investors. And actually, this year, uranium is the best performing metal. Set out at the start of the year around $40 a pound. It's now around 80. So we're perfectly teed up to create a lot of value here for shareholders.
Okay, and as I said in my introduction, it's not just uranium that you're about. You have gold assets. So could you briefly talk us through the gold assets which are also in Canada?
Yeah, be glad to. So, well, actually, gold is the second best performing metal this year as well. So that's quite an interesting fact for viewers out there. So we have the Big Bear project. Now what we've identified there is a gold corridor with high grade gold. We've identified drill targets, numerous drill targets. So we've got Big Bear up to drill ready status. Just to add, our gold projects are within Ontario. And what we've also done is we brought in the Tully Gold project. It comes in with resources that brings in an underlying value to the company, over 100,000 ounces of gold. We're just at the moment, we're just putting the finishing touches to our proposed drill program this winter, which should see a great deal of activity and excitement.
And my last question for you today, Ryan, why should Fulcrum Metals be on people's watch list? Why don't you tell us why you think that?
Well, firstly, we're focused on two of the best performing metals in 2023 in uranium and gold. Exploration-wise, we've had great success. In Saskatchewan, we've identified new uranium trends. We've expanded that portfolio with some really good projects and looking to spin that out or bring partnerships into that business to create value for shareholders. At Big Bear, we've developed a gold corridor and drill targets. So that's ready to go and drill, make a discovery. We've also brought in the Tully Gold project. It's got over 100,000 ounces of gold. We're going to drill there and try to build on that resource that we already have. So that's a truly exciting time for the company. Bearing in mind, the director owns 30% of the company. No one's got any free shares. So just like investors, we want to see a return on that money. And we're always evolving and developing as a company. 2023 has been a difficult year for all exploration companies, but I think we're focused on the right metals to deliver returns. I think we've got the right projects to deliver those returns. And I really look forward to, in the short term, telling people more about the business and all these initiatives that we've been working on behind the scenes.
Ryan Mee, CEO at Fulcrum Metals. That was terrific. Thank you so much. I very much enjoyed hearing about your company. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to speaking to you again in the future. For more company information and to access the company bulletin boards, please go to the Fulcrum Metals page on London South East. And meanwhile, do follow us on Twitter. That will be @_FocusIR_, or also @London South East, and or rather register on London South East to receive alerts to our next Fulcrum interview. And all that remains for me to say is thank you very much indeed for watching.